Episode 10 of HGC starts off with pre-show action with just Damian Carville getting a win, hoping to kind of get something going with his momentum. That way, his storyline at Whistler can take the next level where I get him a little bit of momentum, a little bit of popularity, and can pursue him further down the line. But that's pre-show match. Following that, we start with Ripcord, kind of talking about the Protege storyline and basically challenging Sam Strong to show up next week to have a face-to-face with him. We are about 10 weeks out, 9 weeks starting. Well, after this week, it'd be 9 or 8 or something like that. So I want to really start getting the Total Mayhem build together. This is probably the last show of the in between or the kind of taking it easy and to get people over out so we can really get start going where we're gonna have an international tournament and a tag tournament, I think. But we'll see. Yeah, so Ripcord and Sam Strong face to face next week. Following that, BLZ Bub defeats Damon. He defeated Warren last week. Going fair, he defeats Damon this week. I'm tempted to do BLZ Bub and Travis versus the War Eagles, but I won't do that. We have the tag specialist defeating Spirit Warriors. Yeah, so I should have had one of them been given a what's it called, character idea, but they're all considered unimportant jobbers, so not great. But again, getting Untouchables a win. And Joel, we did use a creative idea to get him back to more momentum. We have Cobra and Viper calling out Cowboy saying, find a partner next week that's not Sam Strong, and we'll more than happy take you down. Just continuing that little thread and getting Cowboy involved with other people and getting a little bit of rub from facing Cobra and Viper again, which of course, you know what's going to happen there at the end. Okay, so Flapjack Flanagan says Liberty got lucky in the past 2 weeks, but anybody who's not Liberty looks nothing like them. I'm more than happy to take on right now. And he loses to Mr. Lucha, but I guess I put this promo in between where Whistler calls out Damon Carville, basically stating, it's his point of view of the USA versus Canada angle. And Damon Carville cost Whistler a match last week versus Robert Oxford, so it's only fair. Whistler calls him out, but Damon, being a coward, doesn't show up. Okay, so I really messed up the order of the booking. Romeo defeats Jason Jackson, just a way to get Romeo another win. We follow that up with Charlie Homicide cutting a promo of just being like a hardcore crazy guy. Then finally, Flapjack loses to Mr. Lucha. This is to hopefully get to Mr. Lucha over the edge and to be recognizable at least, and really kind of start getting the cruiserweights built around him as he will be our lead cruiserweight. Following that, we go into Jeb Langley and the Danger Kid getting a big win over the One Percenters, the Knight Rider Mayhem Midian, with the Danger Kid defeating the Knight Rider. Yeah, just a continuation of that, of the Jeb Langley push against the Knight Riders, as I feel like he is ready to kind of take a next step, and they're on their way out, obviously. Before our main event, we go back to Jack Bruce and RP Jr., just another back and forth promo, and they'll probably have a match next week. And then our main event, we have Ripcord defeat Rico Santana, just to give, Ripcord a main event match. It's one of those that's not rhyme or reason, but I'm not holding myself to that too much because that's just the nature of the beast at this time. Where every match doesn't have to have a reason. I mean, if you go back and look at 97 WCW, there's just random shit all over there. So is what it is. All right, so we stay popularity across the board, but we're up 3 for first 2 months. That's okay with me. So that year and a half mark to get to 15 is more than possible. But let's see what happens on the SWF side of things and check some popularity stuff. Yeah, so we had this in our first. What the heck? They said that we are controlled by devil worshippers. I am not, so that is news to me. SWF, another solid show. Mr. Supreme making an appearance, but no appearances from TC, Tommy Cornell. Brent Hill contract is ending, so I gotta re-sign him because I did him and Frankie on short deals, knowing that I'll probably have to turn one of them face, and when I re-sign them, turn them face. But we'll talk about that when we get to that point of the story. Let's see here. All right, let's check to see who won real quick, because I forget quickly. All right, Jeb, Danger, Joel, Robert. Where's Jeb? Jeb. All right, Jeb goes up popularity a little bit. We'll check the Danger Kid. He is not recognizable. That is good. That is good. And he should be good enough where I want him in that 40s, 50s range so that way I can use him accordingly. Speaking recognizable, Robert Oxford's recognizable. So back-to-back wins for him is good. And then Joel goes up, but he was basically nothing before. I guess Jack Bruce, see if he got any with the nope. Um, BLZ Bub, and then we'll check Damon's thing. BLZ Bub. Alright, so BLZ is pretty much as good as, well, there's a couple people we can still have him face to get over a little bit more ahead of facing Dusty Streets, because I want to have it very possible. I don't know if I'm going to have him defeat Dusty, but it's very possible that when they inevitably face off. Okay, now let's do this since, ooh, bit of gamble, never mind. So if I have like any of this bit of the gambles, big risk or whatever, since Teddy has like cold, I just give it to him and see what happens. So chili, that's fine, but let's see. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about this at this point of view. Okay, so yeah, it's about pretty basic, but like I said, last of like the in-between storylines. So we're, let's see, 61 days away from next show would be the 61 days from Total Mayhem. So that's about 8 episodes, nine, 8, whatever. I'll count it out, I promise. Till our next pay-per-view. And on the pay-per-view, we already know the main event is Sam Strong versus Ripcord. We know Dusty Streets and BLZ Bub probably will face off. Maybe there, maybe before. But, you know, that's the whole point. But we got to figure out the rest of the card. I know what I want to do, but we got to get to it. So thank you for watching. Talk to you next time.